It's exciting to be the last panelist, actually, because everyone is just illustrating my biggest takeaway from what's happened since March of 2020, which is that we are all doing the right thing, which is exciting to see. Because at the beginning, when everyone was scrambling around and trying to figure out how to use Zoom, it could have gone either way. I've spent my whole career working in education technology. I was doing research on ed tech before it was called ed tech. And what was interesting in the pre-COVID times is that it was very divided. There were educational technologists who were very focused on their work, confident technology could solve problems, doing lots of research on how to leverage technology. And there was everybody else who sometimes dabbled in using some tools, but there was a real divide. Like when I would talk about using technology for English learners or language learners before COVID, people would sort of look at me like, no, like that doesn't work. English learners don't have email addresses and say ridiculous things. And what happened when COVID happened was that all of a sudden everyone's like, wait a second, technology is our only solution. We have to use technology. But what I was actually afraid of didn't happen, which is that people were going to get so frustrated by emergency online teaching and using technology without any proper training and without a strategy and without knowing what they were doing, that they were going to abandon it when they didn't need to do it anymore. And it's so nice to see that that isn't what's happened, because I have these three pictures here, these three big things. One of them was the COVID-19 pandemic, but the other is sort of global migration has changed completely in the last 3 years. And technology has also changed dramatically in ways that were only hoping for 3 years ago. So with these three big things, we've been shaking up the world of education and technology in a way that can actually drive inclusivity, efficiency, access, and outcomes. And we are doing it, which is really, really, really exciting to see. So if you go to the next slide, I put this picture in here of e-learning in a typewriter because I think it illustrates like what I was afraid of, which is shoehorning a traditional face-to-face class into an online classroom, basically doing glorified correspondence courses and not using technology to remove barriers and solve problems. And that isn't what we're seeing happen, which you can see from the panelists who've gone before me. Everyone talked about learner-centered design, using technology that's accessible, using tools that your learners are already using to do real things, and connecting technology to the world of work. So I also have a different job. I founded a company during the COVID crisis. And our whole goal is to use technology to remove barriers for English learners so they can access jobs with the potential for economic mobility. And we're doing it because we're figuring out what tools and what skills people need for the jobs that we have open today, and we're giving them those tools. And I'm seeing this happen in adult ed classrooms across the country. Teachers, I was talking to a teacher yesterday who said that she has all of her students do job searches in class and actually apply for jobs in the classroom. And this is not the kind of thing that we were seeing at a large scale prior to March of 2020. But we know from decades and decades of research that adults learn by doing, and the more that learning is embedded into the real world, the more effective it will be. And so teachers can do this on a micro level with your learners. Figure out why it is they're in your class. Like, what are they going to get from your class? And how are they going to use it outside of class, and connect those things? Because the more you can connect what you're helping them do with what they need to be able to do and want to be able to do, A, the better they'll learn, and B, your outcomes will be so much richer.